Hi, this is Rockin' Robin, and today I'm here to give you ideas to rock your Super Bowl party. Stay with us. Hi, this is Rockin' Robin. Welcome. So when I think of the Super Bowl, I think of gambling. I like to gamble, but the Super Bowl, there's something special about it. And there's a way you can gamble at your party, and you can gamble with money, or you can gamble for items, even if it's just for rights. And there's things you can gamble the typical ways with the boxes. Everybody does those boxes, and that takes a lot of people. You're gonna have to have a big crowd. But you can also do things like betting on how long the national anthem is, and you can have a whole bunch of people guess the time. It's usually a minute and 30 seconds. It can be above or below, or a minute 45, 2 minutes, a minute and 20, a minute, somewhere in that minute to 2 minute range. They say about a minute and 30 seconds. Or you can do other things like who's gonna be the star of the halftime show. There's always somebody special that comes out. Who will be the special people? There will be things about who's gonna win the first half, who's gonna get the first touchdown, who will have the most yards, who's gonna catch the most passes, all that kind of cool stuff. You can do little bitty gamblings on some of those as well, if that's what you like. You don't have to do it with a ton of people and a ton of boxes and trying to get all the numbers and the scores, because that takes a lot. But there's a lot of different ways you can gamble, and some of them can be just for fun. And you don't have to give prizes or anything, just who is the Super Bowl king or queen, at the end. So you can do things like that are games that are not necessarily gambling for money, or you can gamble for money. You can do it for a quarter. You can do it for $25 a shot if you want. It's really up to you and the crowd you have. Number 2 is trivia. Now, maybe you want to do this like pregame, because the game starts at like 6:30. And a lot of times people will say, come on over at 4. And then it's like, all right, well, what do you have to do? What are you going to get people pumped up for? Well, there are a lot of trivia, and you can go to Pinterest and different places and find trivia. It could be, where was the first Super Bowl held? Which Super Bowl had the highest score? Where had the most amount of people attended or most watched. Or you can do a lot of different things and have some trivia contests before. And again, you don't have to give prizes. You could get just who's the winner, different things like that. But that's a way of doing something before the Super Bowl begins that gets people hepped up and gets them excited to celebrate your party and rock your party. Now, what about food? Food is so important. Now, you can base it on where the Super Bowl is, which this year it's in New Orleans, so you want like jambalaya, crawfish, things that they would have there, po' boys, food that is New Orleans based. Or you can do it with the teams that are going to be in the Super Bowl. If it ended up being the Bills, you can have some buffalo wings, but you got to have buffalo wings anyway. You can decide if you want to do it for the teams or for the city, or if you just want to do the typical. Now, the typical would be buffalo wings, pizza, chili, and everything else is perfect, but those would be the main. If you're looking for desserts, go on Pinterest. They have some that can show you how to make them into little footballs. Even the hors d'oeuvres and the cheeses can be in footballs. All kinds of great things. So Pinterest has got to be one of the places that you go to when you want to find those recipes, when you want to find how to design things to be whatever shapes that you want. Lots of good ideas there. So check out Pinterest, and when it comes to food, you'll find something special. So another fun thing to do for the Super Bowl is always the commercials. I love the commercials. Some people watch the Super Bowl just for the commercials. So why don't you give everybody a sheet of paper and either rank the commercials 1 through 20, whichever were the top, or give each one a score, like 10 being the best. This is an 8 out of 10. This is a 7 out of 10. And then at the end, get all the papers, add them all up, see which one came out on top. It's always fun because you're watching Super Bowls, you laugh, and maybe one is really funny and one is sentimental. And which ones do people like? What is their favorites? Take a look at the commercials. There's a lot of people, like I said, that only watch it for the commercials. So make that something special. And make sure people aren't talking during the commercials so that people can actually watch them. Now, another thing that I found is if you're having a lot of people and people can get rowdy, you might, if you have a big house, think about having 2 TVs. I went to a party one time where there was the AFC on downstairs, or I don't know if it was the AFC, the NFC. One team downstairs and the other team was upstairs. And the reason was because the fans that were at this party were getting so like angry and rowdy that they had to separate them. So maybe if you think that's a possibility, you have your 2 TVs in totally different places so that they can't antagonize each other and a big fight doesn't start. Because some people take this really, really serious. And I don't want to see you go in there and say your house is a wreck because you had the Super Bowl. So if you have a big house, think about 2 TVs for 2 different crowds. This way, maybe you will not have a fight or something like that happen. You don't want that. When it comes to clothes, everybody must have a jersey of some sort or a t-shirt or something that's sports related. So why not tell them they have to wear a jersey? If it's the team that's playing, that's great. But I'm a Patriot fan, so I'm going to wear a Patriot fan to everyone. Whether it's, no matter who's playing. I know the Patriots are not in it this time for sure, but whoever is in it, you know, I would wear my Patriot shirt, and that's it. You got to wear your jersey, right? You got to root for your team, but wear a jersey. I mean, if you really want to go all out and you really have a lot of money, you can always buy t-shirts specially made, you know, so-and-so's Super Bowl party 2025. But that's a lot of money. But if that's what you want to do, again, go to Pinterest, see what they have, maybe Amazon, but I would try Pinterest first, see what you can get, because yeah, that would definitely make it special, and you might have to buy a lot of sizes, but it's not a necessary thing. A jersey is always fine to wear to a Super Bowl party. Okay, so next is drinking. You know you gotta drink. 2 things I want to tell you. I went to a party one time we had a big tub. The tub was full with ice and beer. That's a great way. Get some kind of tub and put that with beer. So constantly open your fridge, open in the fridge, open in the fridge. Everything's gonna get cold. You know, you have to do something special, and that's a good thing. You can put it right in the middle of the area where they stand or where they're gonna be able to get the beer. Put it right there, and you know they'll be very happy they can get it. It'll be ice cold, because you gotta have that ice cold beer. Also, you might want to buy plastic mugs. You don't want to have glass bottles, maybe cans or plastic mugs, so they can pour the beer in the bottles. If you have a keg, same thing in ice, plastic cups. Perfect for the party, but that's the best way to do it. And drinking games. There are a lot of different drinking games if you want to play that. You don't want to play one that's going to get everybody too drunk. And again, rowdy in your house. But there's things like, let's say the Chiefs are playing. Every time the announcers mention Taylor Swift, you have a drink. Or every time a wide receiver catches a touchdown, you have a drink. Or so many plays, every 20 plays, you have a drink. You can do it whichever way you want to do, but you can find different kinds of drinking games and say, this is what we're going to do every time this happens. Just come up with some ideas, and maybe you want a whole bunch of different things, and you have different types of drinks. Hey, you can do whatever it is you want. They don't have to be alcoholic. You can do whatever with the kids if you want to do it, because you know, it's a lot of fun to have different kinds of games, and that's a fun one. Speaking of another game I found, bingo, and this is on Pinterest as well. You can have, everybody has different squares, and maybe one square is quarterback throws for 20 plus yards, and you X that off. Maybe another one is the wide receiver caught a pass. Check that off. Maybe you want defense scores a touchdown. You can do so many different things, and everybody has different squares. Maybe some have the same, and you got to get bingo, or you got to fill the card. I mean, that's great with kids, especially if you're having a party and you're having a whole group of kids. You can do that. If you're having older adults, I'm sure they'll like it too. It's always a lot of fun to play football bingo. And in Pinterest, there are free cards that you can print out, and some of them have different things on them. Some of them you have to fill in yourself. So bingo football, great for the Super Bowl. Now when it comes to decorating your house, again, go to Pinterest. You can't believe how many ideas and how many things you can find there. You can buy them on Amazon, you can buy them on eBay, you can buy them at several different stores, or you can just see what they have on Pinterest and give you ideas. These are all special ways to make your Super Bowl rock. The next most important part of the Super Bowl is the halftime show. Now, I said before, you can see who do everybody think is going to be the special guests. How long will it last? Will there be any mishaps? You know, there have been mishaps. You can come up with a whole bunch of what songs will be sung. You can do a lot of different things where there's contests or questions or people shout out, you know, and then see how people like the show. It seems like each year certain groups love it and certain groups hate it. It really depends what you like, you know, and this year is going to be a lot of rap, I think, so it's going to be fun, but, you know, some people hate it, some people love it, so those are things that you want to do. So I hope these ideas helped you because I want to make your Super Bowl rock. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell, and give us a big thumbs up. Go out there and may the best team win. My teams.